Okay, so what I'm going to do is show you how to complete the spreadsheet that I'm looking for you to complete. The first thing you're going to need to do is open up the spreadsheet, and that will be in your Dropbox account. And also need to go to the website. Which is sandiegogrants.org and /resources / San Diego resources.php. So hopefully you can see. I'll try to make the screen bigger so you can, whoops. Okay, so I'm trying to make the screen bigger, which I guess that's what the screen looks like, but it's sandiegogrants.org /resources / San Diego resources.php. So this is the website that you're going to go to in order to complete the spreadsheet. So the first funder name is the Thomas C. Ackerman Foundation. I'm going to make this side-by-side viewable so you can see. Oops. Trying to make it smaller so it's viewable side by side. Okay, so the name of the organization would be the Thomas C. Ackerman Foundation. And then I'm just going to copy and paste the address. I don't know why this isn't wrapping. Well, you'll need to make sure that it wraps before you give it back to me. And the zip is 92101. Phone number is 619-741-0113. And the website, now I noticed that there was a problem with it, but you can go ahead and click. And if you see, the website wasn't found, and they had put in ackermanfoundation.org. So what I did was I went ahead and put in the W's. And I was able to locate it. So if you run across any problems, I want you to try to do some research to figure out, who it is. If you have a problem, don't just put that you can't find it. Try to figure it out. Okay, so who do they fund? So in order to figure that out, we're going to need to do a little bit of research. So we look on here to the application process. And it says you must file a letter of intent. So rather than just copy and paste this entire humongous document, which doesn't help, what I would want you to do is go ahead and print this document and create a file. So we're going to go ahead and print this. And now mine looks a little bit different than yours does. I'm going to create a new folder called the Ackerman Foundation. And I'm going to just name this How to Apply Ackerman. Okay? So now I have this information. It's listed in the file folder named Ackerman Foundation, which you can see right here. So in there, whoops, how come it's not in there? So actually this, you would want that to go in that file folder. I guess we can't do it until it's closed. Okay, and then that'll make it a lot easier when we're actually trying to apply for the grants. Okay, so now we have to find out who they fund though. We're not done. So you're going to need to read through all this to find out who they fund. Now it says in here that a letter of intent would be reviewed first. So we'll go ahead and click on letter of intent. And it tells us about it. It can't be more than 3 pages. Yes must be submitted. The organization supports or operates a formal classroom educational program. So basically they are supporting K through 12 educational programs that emphasize the teaching of math or science. So you type in here K through 12 educational programs emphasizing teaching of math or science. Okay, so that's where we would find who they fund. So a lot of this you are going to have to read the information to find out the information that we're looking for. Okay, so how to apply. Now we would look on the application process and we would read through this. So how to apply. There are some steps and it looks like there are 2 steps. So we'll write it in here what those 2 steps are. 1, okay, and then step 2, once invited, so I'm just typing this. Okay, notice I'm not copying and pasting everything. I'm summarizing it. Okay, so now we're looking to see if there's a deadline. And it looks like within 30 days of a board meeting. Okay. So guidelines and details. So if you, actually I'm going to go ahead and put in a listing of prior grants. Now you'll want to make this readable. Okay, this is not currently readable in this format, so copy and pasting is not really working in this. Whoops. So what I would want you to do in this situation is highlight the headings. And make it easily readable. So maybe change the color of the font. I don't know why it's doing this. But you get the idea. You would want to make it easily readable instead of having a really, you know, it's not really easily readable the way that it is. So in this case, you could put something like, I don't know, you'll come up with an idea to fix that. So guidelines and details, you could put see attachment, and I don't know, I'm going to take this out because it's making the spreadsheet too difficult to read. So in this situation, I might put the attachment, and I would just make a copy of it. And I would call this prior grants. So a lot of this is actually going to be you're going to have to read. Copy and pasting is not really what I'm looking for. It's really not optimal to copy and paste. Okay, so now we made this change and it's still, there we go, so we want to fix that. And filed in Dropbox, and we put yes. I think we included all of the required attachments. We can't really fill out the grant questionnaire because we haven't been invited. So that's basically it. So what I want you to do is do that with all of these grants. So what I need is information on all of these grants in Dropbox with all of the required information and also in this spreadsheet format. So I hope this helps.